spend life as bananas. Use this mic as a hammer when I'm nailing it down. Speak what I believe through the frequency of sound. Never hold back cause I know that my life has been blessed. I'll never go back to the throwback, I'm free from that mess. I've been in it for a moment and I'm trying to improve. Little by little I dribble the riddle to make me move. Keep it true to who I am and where I'm from. Not a rock star but I'm big to some. I got enough heart and will to spark a revolution. New to the game and this is how I'm moving. With a positive stance just like a B-boy. Ready to bust and crush the decoy. A scholar to the game just like Bruce Leroy. So I'm in it to win it until it's time to deploy. It goes step by step, piece by piece, brick by brick, until it's complete. You gotta build it.
That is Caboose and his song, Build It Up. Welcome back once again to Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. I am your host. I am Joe the Shirt, as you all know. Good to be back here again talking to you guys. At least I get to, spot off. That was Caboose. Nice. Actually, I kind of like that bit there. Very traditional rap style there, but it was fun. Mm-hmm. Okay. What do we want to talk about today being Monday what's today's date? 19th? I don't know. Fucking days. Anyway, or the 21st? Is it? I don't know what that is. Recently, a very good friend of mine of, at the very least, average intelligence, came to my home and had me watch a couple of videos online on YouTube, because he is now convinced that the whole Sandy Hook shooting that happened in Connecticut last month was a hoax. That it was just a bunch of made-up stuff, and you go on these sites, and there's like dozens, literally, of these Sandy Hook hoax sites that will all spout off about how it was all staged, it was all a bunch of actors, nobody really died, nobody's been arrested, and in general, the hoax was to actually I'll tell you what the hoax was meant for in a little bit, and I indulge him. I indulged him. I sat down and I watched a half hour of this bullshit. Okay, and this guy spouting off about how it's a hoax. You watch the videos, and he shows you like I said, a good half hour worth of clips, where it's like, well, take a look at this here. It was like, how can you? Why is this person reacting like this when they just lost their child? Or why is this person over here fixing this wall? They just shot up the place. I don't understand that. It's like, and here's the absolute proof. This little girl that's taking a picture with Barack Obama, she was actually shot and killed on the day of the massacre. So what's she doing in this picture? And on and on and on it goes. And the only reason I indulged him in this is because he is a friend of mine, and he's a very good friend of mine. But and if he had not been a good friend of mine, I just would have shut it down right there and then, not even indulge this, because I find the very concept that it was a hoax offensive. I find the very idea, the concept of it, ludicrous, because basically what these hoax websites are trying to tell us is that an entire town got together, faked an assault on one of their grade schools, faked 27 people being killed, 20 children, 7 adults, including the assailant's mother, and that as all the media in the universe descend on this little town in Connecticut, that somehow they were able to keep it a secret from the police, the media, the reporters, CNN, ESPN, the FBI, the military, that they were able to keep a lockdown on this and do it so well that they were able to fool the president into going down there and visiting and taking pictures and all that and pouring out his heart, and that somehow they believe that nobody would catch onto it, or that they are the ones that finally blew the lid on it. The FBI, the police, the media, the reporters, they weren't sharp enough to figure this out. But these guys, who most likely live alone in the woods with a small cubbyhole in their secret basement where they keep runaway teenagers, these guys figured it out. Now, I did argue with my buddy, and I let him know, look, there's nothing here that's being shown to me that couldn't be faked with a computer. I'm sorry, it was nothing there. As a matter of fact, one of the things that this idiot proceeds to show on his little clip there is like, how come these alleged family members of victims were setting up donation sites for the victims 3 days before it happened, or the day it happened, like right before it happened. And I'm like, that's easily fakeable. I mean, shit. I'm sorry. In a world with computer nut jobs that are just geniuses as to what to do with a computer, world of Photoshop, world of splicing video. I mean, anything can be made to look like it's a fake. As a matter of fact, for every hoax website that was up, there are also hoax debunking websites that are up that will show you exactly how these hoax websites faked all their evidence. Now, I'm not going to go out too far on a limb and say it's completely 100% impossible that this was a hoax. I'm not going to say that. Just really, really, really unlikely. Probability kind of on the low side. Like say, I'm going to be quarterbacking in the Super Bowl next month. Is it impossible? No. But I wouldn't bet on that one. And really, the scope of such a hoax is so huge. I mean, Adolf Hitler, probably said it best. If you're going to tell a lie, tell the biggest lie possible. People are more likely to believe it because nobody wants to believe that you would lie about something that big. And that does apply here, but this is a really, really big lie. In the era of everybody has a cell phone, everybody has a video camera, everybody has access to the internet, and there are satellites all over our planet that can watch you jerk off if they want to. You're going to tell me that this little town was able to pull off one of the biggest fake mass killings in history. Okay. In American history, anyway. No. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to accept this. I argued with my buddy a little bit. I told him, well, look, I understand that what the alleged evidence they're showing you here can be convincing. But then again, anything can be convincing when shown at you from a certain point of view, for a certain perspective. When some evidence is shown to you and some kept back from you, things can be made to look a certain way. Just like if you watch any of those reality TV shows, that all the people that are on the shows, when they're not on the show anymore, they bitch and moan. It's like, that never really happened. I was not that mean. I did not do this or that. And it was actually just a bunch of clips that were put together in a certain way to make it look as if they did. And that can be done with anything. Next thing I proposed to him was, doesn't the fact that the person that's putting out this video is an NRA gun nut job, I don't know, make you think that maybe he's a little biased? And he's like, he's an NRA gun nut? I'm like, yeah, but before he even starts talking, he puts some video of some writing, and it's all about how that all of this was done to bring on new legislation on gun control. That it is basically a lefty loony hoax put together to enforce stricter gun laws on the United States people. I'm like, didn't that set off a little bing, in your head somewhere to let you know that maybe this guy is not looking at it in a fair, balanced way? All right, let's set that aside. Let's put that aside. Okay. This guy also drew analogies between Sandy Hook and 9/11. This guy is making allegations that 9/11, the Twin Towers, the attack on the Pentagon, those are all faked. I'm like, seriously? I don't know. I've been back to New York. Those buildings aren't there. There's a big hole where those buildings used to be. I mean, this is right up there with any of the nutcases that go around claiming that the Holocaust didn't happen. No. 6 million Jews murdered in camps? No, didn't happen. No. They all went on vacation and just never came back. And believe it or not, you go on enough of these hoax websites, there are even websites out there that will tell you that slavery didn't happen either. Nope, didn't happen. 400 years of forced labor and ownership of black people? Nope, didn't happen. Nope, See, now, right there's a perfect example for you of how a hoax can be spread, how lies can be spread. Because anybody can literally take this recording, edit it, and make it sound like I'm saying that the Holocaust didn't happen, that I'm saying that slavery didn't happen. Anybody could just take all these words that I'm saying right now, re-edit it, put it on, and make me sound like the world's biggest asshole. They could even edit it to say that I am the world's biggest asshole. So I understand we live in a time where you have to sift through all the material in front of you, all the information in front of you, and figure out what the truth is. And sometimes, we will be lied to by mainstream media, the news, our politicians, our leaders. They will lie to you. Absolutely, 100%. I know they're gonna. But you also have to see beyond the people that have obvious slants and biases towards anything. They're going to come along, and I don't think it's too difficult to point them out, to figure out who it is. You know what? They have an agenda beyond just reporting the news. It was a tough thing for me to watch and actually make believe to take seriously with my buddy here, because every fiber of my being just wanted to just turn it off and go, "You're an idiot." But like I said, we're friends, and when a friend of yours comes to you with something that he takes seriously, you at least give him the benefit of the doubt and check out what he's got to say, what he's got to present to you, and then you can ridicule him mercilessly. I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to start playing a little bit more of Caboose. It's called "It Went This Way" by Caboose. I'm Joe the Shirt. I'm off the cuff, and I'll be right back.
From 10,000 lakes to the streets of the West Coast, from my birthplace to a single-parent home, I roam from residence to residence in search for evidence, but found none but a fatherless son, trying to adapt to the crash that only just begun. Life is bittersweet, but I was left undone. My mom got remarried, so I thought this might be it. I crossed my fingers like a kid on Christmas, hoping for a gift and a stepdad, but was living proof to the truth of verbal and physical abuse. Seeing the tears in my mom's eyes, there's nothing I could do. I wanted to escape to a place where we were safe, so my mom packed up our things, we moved away. This is my story and it went this way. This is my story.
And we are back once again. It's Joe the Shirt's Off the Cuff. That was more Caboose. It Went This Way is the name of the song. Okay. Before we move on, a couple of quick little tidbits here, which I'm enjoying. Vivid Entertainment Those of you who know what Vivid is know exactly what Vivid is. Those of you who have never heard of Vivid should know that it's porn. They make porn. That's what they do. It's probably one of the biggest porn producers in the world. They've decided that they're going to sue the County of Los Angeles over the condom laws requiring sex performers in movies to wear condoms. They're suing, and I, for one, am 100% behind them. Another one here, quick for you. Now, for those, there's about 1% of us in the world that are affected by certain ailments that are directly connected to our digestive tract, our stomach, our intestines, large and small, and that like a whole host of things where that are related to about 100,000 deaths a year. And normally this would be treated with what's the I had it right here. Sorry. An antibiotic called vancomycin. Vancomycin. Anyway, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Well, they found a better way to cure these ailments with a 94% cure rate, also known as 3 times greater than just taking the antibiotic. Eating shit. That's right, you heard me. Apparently, eating shit from a healthy person, normally a relative, produces microbes and bacteria in your body that your body needs to properly digest food and be cured of all these ailments. And yes, when I say, I mean, you literally, somebody takes a dump, it's brought to you, and you have to ingest it. Exact manner of how you do it, I don't know. Maybe with a nice Chianti and fava beans. All right, and real quick, oh yeah, Dear Abby died. Bitch was 94, cause of death, she was an old bitch. Okay. And also, one last thing here before I move on to my last bit here. Lance Armstrong finally went and did it. He finally admitted that he cheated, that he was doping, that he was taking drugs. And of course, he had to go on Oprah to do that. I'm not really sure why that is. And really, personally, I still don't care. Because we are talking about something, an event, a sport in which pretty much everybody is doping. Everybody is using illegal chemicals and drugs. And honestly, for Lance Armstrong to do it, evening out the playing field as far as I'm fucking concerned. The man has one nut. For God's sakes, give him a break. Let him take some caffeine pills. But no, he finally came clean, finally admitted, yes, I did do drugs all that time. But now that he's cleansed his soul and his conscience, he has to now deal with getting sued because all those companies that were backing him and using him for endorsements and this and that, the other thing, they want their money back. They're going after him now. Lance, you should have just stuck with your lie. Okay, now, the second part of today's show, Hoaxes and Pedophiles. I know, right? Just fun all around. Scientists are coming up with some new ways of thinking of pedophiles. Now, for those of you who live under a rock somewhere, a pedophile is somebody who is sexually attracted to children. 99% of the time, it's going to be a man. 99% of the time, what he's attracted to is young girls. We're talking prepubescent types, okay? There's only like 9, 10, 11, maybe younger, maybe a little older, but always very young girls. Which is not to be confused with simply being a child molester. A true pedophile, you see, is very attracted to, like I said, most of the time, young girls, but does not see them as victims. A real pedophile sees them as romantic partners. They see it as romancing the child. They see it as seducing the child. They obviously don't see it as violent crime. Whereas a true child molester, a lot of times does not need to feel attraction for the child that they're molesting. A lot of times they don't. For a child molester, it's almost never about attraction. It's never about pleasure. It's about control, violence, power. It is basically a rape. And like I said, most of the time, psychologically, these guys do not feel any attraction towards their victims, and their victims can be male or female. Whereas your average pedophile is actually romantically interested in a younger female and may never ever act out on it. A pedophile is not somebody that actually goes out and does something. A pedophile is somebody that thinks and feels a certain way, which is an attraction to young children. That being said, please understand, it's not like I'm getting pedophiles a walk here. Okay, they don't get a free pass. All right. But what they're finding here is where it used to be believed that your average pedophile was abused as a child themselves, and that led them to grow up thinking that way. No. Matter of fact, that is not the case. The vast majority of pedophiles were not sexually abused as children themselves. A lot of them grew up in very, very normal households, very normal families. And something I've always said before is there's a little bit of a pedophile in just about every man on the planet. Because think of it logically. After your mother, which is most likely the first woman you ever truly loved or fell in love with, the first person you fell in love with as a young straight male was a little girl. You know, she may have been 8 years old in the 3rd grade. She may have been 13 years old in junior high school. She may have been 11, in 6th grade, whatever. But the point is, as straight men, the very first girls we found attractive were, well, little girls. The very first girls we could ever think about even calling our girlfriends was some girl around our own age. We're 9, 10, 11 years old. Putting aside, of course, the crushes that we might have on our teachers or an older girl that we know from somewhere, or an aunt even that we don't ever see, but we think about quietly in the bathroom. So it's no surprise that it's not a shock. It's nothing wrong to say that you found young girls attractive. But whereas most men, like myself, outgrow this, or maybe keep it in a little secret stash in the back of our heads, or maybe every once in a while we make our girlfriend put on a Catholic schoolgirl outfit and wear pigtails. These guys can't help themselves. According to what this recent study shows, that for these guys, it's not psychological, it's physiological. It's hardwired into their heads. You'd have as much of a chance as getting these guys to stop finding young girls attractive as you would a homosexual man to stop finding men attractive. It's hardwired. It's in there. And I'll be the first one to tell you, neither one from a reproductory point of view is normal. Okay? Do I think homosexuality is normal? No, it is not normal. It is abnormal. But in this case, we're also talking about consenting adults, both male and female. As long as you're both adults, you're both consenting, I say go fuck whoever you want. I don't care. As Dennis Miller put it, there's nothing more fascinating in the world to me than my orgasm, and nothing less interesting to me than your orgasm. I don't care how you get off. If it doesn't involve me, I don't give a shit. So if you're a woman, you like to eat pussy, eat as much as you want. You're a guy, you like to suck cock and get pounded in the ass, pound away. Good for you. But I won't go around saying, from a reproductive point of view only, it's not normal. It's not wrong either. For me, there's no moral issue there. Two consenting adults. Now, but for these guys, it's the same deal. They cannot turn off a switch. There's no therapy on the planet. There are no drugs on the planet. There's no operation. It's there. It's hardwired. It's never going away. There is no cure. Even though they're changing the way they look at it, at pedophiles, it doesn't change the end result, which is what these guys want to have romantic relationships with young girls. Well, let's see here. There was a guy by the name of Cristiano back in 1999. He was busted for this Paul Cristiano. He's busted for in a police sting on child pornography, where he was buying child pornography. He had never molested anybody, never engaged in any sexual contact at all. He had a nice career going on as I believe, as a dance choreographer, and he had a bright future going on. But then he got busted for this, and for the rest of his life, he is considered a sexual predator and must register wherever he goes to let everybody know, yeah, by the way, I'm sexual, I'm a sexual predator, child molester, or whatever. Actually, he's not. He didn't do anything other than buy child pornography, which I also, you can't let that one go either, because the reason that they make child pornography is because people are buying child pornography, which means that somebody has to, on camera, molest children. So obviously, we can't have that. But he himself did not actually do anything physical to somebody else. He just, made it a good way to for somebody else to make money. Let's see. What do we have here? Now, you ask yourself about what percentage you think of men out there are pedophiles, meaning that they have a dominant attraction to prepubescent children. Their best guess, between 1% and 5% of all men are pedophiles. But not all pedophiles molest children. Actually, the vast majority of pedophiles never actually do anything. They keep it to themselves, keep it secret, live out their little fantasies, jerk off at home, and that's how they get through their days. Now, for comic abusers as pedophiles, a lot of times Catholic priests, coaches, and generations of Boy Scout leaders. But that does introduce the factor of it's not just simply an attraction to young girls. That's homosexual in nature. Again, nothing wrong with being a homosexual, but being a homosexual pedophile, yes, there is. Let's see here. Okay, there was a study. There was some research done in Germany, where they launched a very unusual media campaign back in 2005, where they would tell people, be it print ad, magazines, newspapers, online, TV ads, radio, they would tell people, you are not guilty because of your sexual desire, but you are responsible for your sexual behavior. All right? There is help. Don't become an offender. Okay. More than 1,700 guys responded to the ads. So far, as of August, about 80 of them have completed the one-year program to help control their impulses. This was done on an anonymity basis. So they were asked questions, what happened? And it turns out about half of them did admit to actually, at some point or another, molesting children. Of course, the hope is that now that they've gone through the program, that this won't be an issue for them. Obviously, they're not going to enact any sort of program like this here in the United States, because under law, any psychologist, researcher, or whoever is required to report if a crime has occurred or if somebody is thinking of committing a crime. So, not going to happen here. Let's see what else here. Now, they found a few interesting things that are common to most pedophiles. Here we go. About 30% of them are either left-handed or ambidextrous. Majority of them are about an inch shorter than the average American height for a man, and about 10 IQ points lower than the average man in this country. So basically we're talking about a bunch of left-handed, short dummies out there that are going around molesting little girls. In one case, a very normal, everyday guy, married, whatever, never had any issues at all of a sudden developed an overbearing need to be in sexual contact with young girls. And he was arrested for attempting such a thing. Turns out the day before he was going to be sentenced, he was rushed to the hospital. He had a brain tumor that was pressing in on his right lobe. They went in there, they took out the tumor, boom, it's gone. No, the desires were completely gone. And then, about a year later, the desires came up again. Guess what? The tumor grew back.